Flagship luxury SUVs are always really cool to check out because the manufacturer packs them with the best of the best technology, the best interior luxury features because they represent the brand. It is the definition of a flagship. And for Infiniti, the Japanese luxury brand, the QX80 is their flagship, the full-size 3-row SUV. And now for the 2025 model year, we have a whole new refresh. There are a lot of changes. You can visually see, obviously, new exterior, new interior features, powertrain, technology, some really cool tech features. So today we're going to get up close with the 2025 QX80 and see what it's like. So we're in the studio, we've got this demo pre-production model of the QX80, and let's start with the exterior styling. So up front, you see new lighting, new front grille, and the Infiniti logo is now illuminated. It's been slightly revised, so it has more of a 3D effect to it. And I also learned today that it is supposed to be like the road going off infinitely into the horizon. I just thought it was like a little mountain peak thing. But anyways, we have the light up Infiniti badge up front. It's got more of a 3D effect to it. The blacked out front grille here, and we have the individual LED DRLs. Those also operate as the turn signals. And then below that we have the headlight cluster. And then below that we actually have this opening for aerodynamics. So it creates like the air curtain for better airflow across the wheels there, helps with cooling and so forth, because as a big full-size luxury SUV, it's hard to not have just the aerodynamic properties of a brick. So you gotta do little tricks like that in order to make it a bit more efficient, a little more slippery. Up front definitely has a pretty commanding presence. These are very large SUVs. Like, these are 22-inch wheels, and they fit perfectly with the size of this SUV. We've got vents on the side here. One side is functional as an intake. The other one is just to match decorationally. And you see the blacked out two-tone. So the black pillars here, the black roof with this really dark metallic paint. 7 different color options are going to be available. This one here is the autograph trim, so the absolute top tier version. This is the top of the line. You see the autograph script back there. And then looking here at the side, 22-inch wheels, fixed side steps, flush door handles. When the vehicle is locked and driving, these handles go back in for better aerodynamics, and it looks nice and sleek, and they'll pop out when you approach the vehicle. We have to demonstrate the welcome sequence too when we get a chance walking up to it. A quick glimpse of the interior, but I'm going to continue along to the back here where we have updated tail light. So this full width light bar composed of over 300 individual LEDs. It has this like smoked finish, but then when the lights turn on, they shine bright red through, and apparently the shape of it was supposed to evoke the reflection on water or something like that. It does look nice. You just turned off more of a smoked finish there. Big Infiniti lettering, QX80 badge, 4-wheel drive. This thing can tow still, and it's got a lot of technology, which we'll talk about more in a moment. But powertrain, so we have a new engine under the hood. It is a VR35. So in the VR family, like the VR30, which is in the Nissan Z, and also the VR38, which is the GTR engine, the VR35 is a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V8 that now makes 450 horsepower and 515 pound-feet of torque. That is 50 more horsepower than the outgoing powertrain and 102 more pound-feet of torque. And with the 9-speed automatic transmission that is shared with the Titan, it also is predicted to be about 20% more fuel efficient, wider spread of gear ratios. They don't have the final EPA numbers yet, so we're waiting for that, but new twin-turbo powertrain. The lights turn off, so actually let me see if I can get the welcome sequence to trigger. Go ahead and turn this off, grab the key fob, and then if we lock it, see the door handles should go back in, maybe. This is a pre-production vehicle, so there we go. Door handles just went back in. And then if we go ahead and unlock, see there, and then it's hard to see because we're in a really bright studio, but you also have this little welcome lighting. It's a puddle lamp coming from the side view mirror. Have the Infiniti logo projected. Oh, just disappeared. Try to do that one more time. Go ahead, lock it. And up front, we get the welcome sequence. There we go. A lot of the modern cars with new lighting have these welcome sequences, and it just makes it a cooler part of the whole experience as you approach the vehicle. Now let's start moving our way to the interior, where there are a lot of changes. So from a material standpoint, we have semi-aniline leather. Again, this is the top tier trim, the Autograph, right? The Sensory also, I think, has the leather. There are two other lower tier trims, but since we're checking out the top of the line, we can cover some of the highlights. Take a look at that stitching, the perforated leather, and they really wanted to talk about these little hand stitched points there. Just adds to more of the detail work and things like that. This is really cool, dark, almost burgundy red with black contrast there. We have Autograph embroidered, not embroidered, like stamped in there. And then see the clip sound system, we've got speakers in the headrest. This one has the upgraded sound system, which we got to try out. It sounds quite nice, really powerful bass. And then take a look at the doors too. We have more of that perforated leather. This is like open pore wood with inlaid metal, and then inside here we have lighting for the interior ambient lighting that you can do up to 64 different color choices. We got speakers here on the door, obviously. So from the first glance, looking at this, obviously, again, top tier trim. This is the six-figure, very expensive one. Quite nice materials, nice design. We have the fixed side step here, so I'm gonna go ahead and step in. This also has adjustable height air suspension, which will allow you to have like an egress mode. Oh, I was probably not supposed to start the thing. I am gonna turn that off. Oops, just on. All right, we've turned on everything. So we have these two 14.3-inch screens. One in the middle for your driver information cluster, and one right here for your infotainment running Google built-in, but it still has wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. You can use built-in Google Maps, load Spotify, all sorts of apps, but you can also still run CarPlay if you want to, which is good news to me because I am reliant upon CarPlay for sure. Pretty nice graphics, like look at these. The animations as it's toggling through, like it's pretty cool. Ooh, it's got a dash cam. Can I see that? Look at that. Preview of the studio we're currently hanging out in, and inside camera too. Hello. Hi. Yep. We have inside camera. So there's a lot of stuff. You can take a photo, we can record, go back to the outside camera. So it's got a lot of camera stuff, which we'll show more in a moment. This has Infiniti ProPilot 2.1, so the driver assistance system. You see the little sensor that watches you there? It can go hands-free on supported freeways if you're stuck in traffic, so it's a step up to 2.1. The base one is just like lane keeping, adaptive cruise control. See lane keeping little thing down there. Steering wheel is pretty nice. It's got this two spokes right here. We actually have Infiniti stamped here. A slightly updated logo, more of that contrast color. Paddle shifters. And then on the right side here, I thought this was really cool. So this little scroll wheel is for controlling your screen, but it can do both of them. So if this is illuminated yellow, orange, it's the center infotainment screen. And then if you click this here, now it is going to control the right side. You see how it's going through the menu things down there? So with one single scroll wheel, without taking your hands off the steering wheel, looking away, you can be able to switch between the two, which I think is actually really cool. That's a nice way to interface, and it's more compact, right? Usually controlling your actual cluster, there's a lot, and there's a lot of info. Look at this. I mean, it's got navigation view, because I think something was set up for Google Navigation. Taylor Swift is playing. It was one of the demo songs. I'm not listening to Taylor Swift, don't worry. Yeah, there's a lot there, and I think that's a pretty cool innovation touch. Materials still seem pretty nice across the dash too. We have more of that wood. It's almost like a dull, almost copper looking trim. It might be the lighting in here. Infiniti illuminated there on the dashboard. Take a look at the passenger side, the seats. We'll get back into the second and third row because there's also more to show back there. Very spacious center console. I think they did a better job packaging this generation than the previous gen, which is a huge truck, but just didn't feel as huge inside. This seems a bit more spacious. You got like storage bin underneath here. This lower 8-inch touchscreen controls your climate and like some drive mode stuff, and it stays this way. So it'll never interfere with the infotainment. It's all controlled down here. It's got like haptic feedback. So if I press it on the touchscreen, it vibrates to let me know. So front climate settings, heated cooled seats and so forth, heated steering wheel, of course. We can control rear settings there too, and then drive mode. So we have personal, which probably lets you customize stuff. Standard, eco, sport, tow, snow. We can change our ride heights for the air suspension. It's currently in access mode, but I'm gonna go all the way up to high. So, oh wait, I am in park. Okay, this, guys, this is a pre-production car, so bear with me here. We'll see. Traction, four-wheel drive. Base 2 trims are rear-wheel drive as standard with optional four-wheel drive. The top 2 trims are four-wheel drive as standard. So this is the lower screen there. Also, let's go to cameras now. So check this out. All right, we have pulled up cameras. Did I close my door? Nope, that door wasn't closed. There we go. So we have the 360 overhead view, and you can change all the different shots if you want. Wait, come back. So there we go. We have the 360 3D view. We can change the angle, or yep, you can swipe around. So we're currently hanging out in a studio here. It looks pretty cool, but there's more. We have, this will be kind of the front, and then we show the wheels. But then there's this really cool thing called, they have a 170-degree field of view if you need to see like around a corner or a parked car. This can actually take over both of the screens there, and it stitches the camera views together to give you this crazy wide field of view. And then another camera innovation is making the hood disappear, invisible hood. It's a big SUV, right? And you don't want to curb the wheels if you're going through a drive-through, or maybe you want to place them when you're going through a car wash or something. But this makes the hood disappear, and you can see where your wheels are. It'll be live. So there are no more excuses to curbing the front wheels on your big Infiniti SUV with this tech. It's been out there before. I know I've seen it in like off-road applications, but it's definitely making an appearance here, which is pretty nice. So a lot of different cameras there. We have the digital rearview mirror. If I just flip that tab, it becomes a regular mirror, and then there we go. We have a digital rearview mirror. That is the internal camera. Up here we have a sensor. That is biometric cooling. So when you get in for the passengers in the back 2 seats, it'll automatically sense their temperature and adjust the climate settings to make them comfortable. And apparently they say it's 50% faster than manually adjusting your climate settings. So all these added things that luxury vehicles get. Got the key fob right here. It's been refreshed. Infiniti script. It is very light. Personally, I like a heavier key fob. Like, that feels like quality to me, especially on a luxury car. But it is looking unique to Infiniti, I think. But these buttons might still be the same as the Nissan one, like the same font, if that makes any sense for little icons. But here is the key fob. More storage, cup holders. This cooler is optional. I think it's standard on the Autograph. You can, it's a cool box. If you have like beverages in there, it directs the air conditioning so you can keep your drinks nice and cold. With that, let's go check out the second row. The pop-out door handle here. So all the seats are power. We have 3 rows. This one is configured as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seating. I think there may be an 8 seating configuration. They did in the past. We have a 1-button push that will automatically bring that seat forward to make it easier to get in. Sometimes if you've climbed into the 3rd row of an SUV, you gotta like be a gymnast, right, to fit your way back there. So this is supposed to make it a bit easier to climb in. So I'm just gonna go for it. Let's check out the 3rd row of the QX80. It is still that same semi-aniline leather back here. They're heated seats in the 3rd row. 3rd row heated seats. That's not something you see often. Put the headrest up a little bit. Okay. This is always the fun test. Do I fit in the 3rd row? I'm 6'3", right? So I've got sort of good headroom. Like, my head is just barely touching, but I'm sitting up straight. Legroom's actually not bad. Like, my knees don't feel like they're coming up to my chest, so the flat floor is definitely not bad. Can I fold the seat? Oh, nope. Oh, okay, so I've got power recline. Okay, I have power recline back here. There's the heating control, so heated seats back here. But can I... I'm gonna go for it. Okay. 1 touch button, 2nd row seat coming back. Okay. Whoa. I have actual knee room. Like, I'm not jammed into it. And like, there is plenty of space there in the 2nd row. I'll hop in there in a second. All right, I'm impressed. This is a actual usable 3rd row for adults. I wouldn't want to do a long road trip here, but it's not like considered torture. Cruel and unusual punishment. No, let me out, please. No? What is it doing? Help. Okay, I was pressing the wrong button. That's Eddie user error. That's not the vehicle's fault. We have another touchscreen back here. This is for controlling climate in the second row. They're heated and ventilated seats, and I believe they're also massage back here. Yep, seat massage for the second row. So we're adding some nice luxury touches here for second row occupants. I'm gonna climb my way back out. I'm trying to think of if there's anything I missed covering the QX80. I read the press release like 3 times, trying to remember all the different new things they've added to it. So we've highlighted the exterior changes, do one final little walk around and show you guys that before we conclude the video. Powertrain is now the twin turbo VR35, no more V8, it's just that one engine choice, 9-speed automatic transmission, 4-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive as standard. Let's see, air suspension, adjustable height air suspension. Practicality, so we talked a little bit about interior volume and how they packaged it better. Behind the second row, though, everything folded down, it's an extra 18% compared to the outgoing generation of cargo volume, and behind the third row is 30% more. So from that regard, we have even better practicality in terms of cargo capacity and so forth. As you can tell, I just threw a bunch of information at you guys because I was just given a bunch of information, so hopefully that all made sense. I'll just walk around the SUV one more time to see if anything jogs my memory. Those 22-inch wheels. The air suspension can drop down for entry, egress, and then can raise all the way up if you need to be off-roading or something like that. And then at freeway speeds, it also lowers slightly for better aerodynamics. We've covered the front end here. Apparently this grille design here is inspired by like the Japanese bamboo forests. So you have these kind of vertical lines here, and it's also echoed in the daytime running light shape there. So that's cool hearing about how Infiniti draws upon the Japanese culture and heritage when they're designing the vehicle. Same thing on the inside about like Japanese hospitality and being such a serene, calm place to be. We'll wait to drive one of these and see what it's like, what it feels like. The pop-out door handles there, the two-tone. There's 7 different paint options available. It looks good. It definitely looks good. It blends the big boxy styling and presence you would want with something like this, right? Think about other SUVs in this segment. We're talking Escalade, Navigator, Mercedes GLS, BMW X7. They are massive, the new Lexus LX. They're big, imposing, and they have their own take on it. So it is sometimes difficult to make them stand out because it's just, you're styling just a giant block, right? To make it aerodynamic, and you rely on things like lighting signatures and wheels and curves and vents and things like that to try to give it its own character. It reminds me enough of the outgoing QX80, but improved in pretty much all the ways from what I can see right now. The old QX80 was definitely starting to feel quite dated, so this was a needed refresh, and I am looking forward to driving this, seeing what it's like. With a twin turbo V6 now, I think interior is a big step up appropriate to the segment. I think the tech is pretty good too. So there we go, a first look at the 2025 Infiniti QX80. Pricing, if I remember from the press release, base trim is right around the low $80,000 range, and going all the way up to this autograph, it's gonna be over $100,000, like $110,000, which is price appropriate to the segment. Now that we've seen this, I also expect we'll get the Nissan, not the Patrol, what are they, Armada. We call it the Armada here, Patrol elsewhere. They're platform siblings, so I expect we'll see that at some point too, but today specifically was the QX80, top of the line autograph. Looking forward to seeing what this is like. Comment below, how do you think this stacks up against the Cadillac Escalade, the German ones, the Lexus and so forth. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.